Hello, I'm Gary Numan and we're at Bestival and you're watching NME.com. We get an hour and that's roughly 12 songs for me because my songs are quite long, and I haven't got the courage to do 12 songs that people don't know, so I do 9 that people don't know and 2 or 3 that they probably do. It surprises me that anyone would wonder why you wanted to move there. You know, beautiful weather, everything in the world to do on your doorstep. You know, it's very exciting. There's a huge music scene going on. There's also plenty of other things that you can do musically. You know, there's film score. There's a huge film industry, obviously. You know, most of the major TV shows come from there. So in terms of being able to output music, rather than just do an album tour, which is brilliant, nothing wrong with that. But if you want to expand beyond that, and I think as I'm getting older, there is a need to do that. You know, because we're too old to do this soon, probably. So it's just kind of almost a tactical thing as to what's going to happen with a career. I'm in no hurry, you know, to move across, because I say I love touring the album tour thing anyway. I really don't want to. I'm only thinking about this in the future because I know it's going to happen, not because I want it to. I want to do this forever, but you know I can't. So I've got to think about what I'm going to do in the future. The last tour was great. It was a tad more retro than I like. I don't really do the retro thing, to be honest. Hence, I'm only doing 3 old songs at the festival. So, but every once in a while, it dawned on me one day a few years ago that it's all very well me saying I'm not going to do any old stuff or very, very little old stuff, but I began to notice that it was perceived by some of the fans as if I was just going to stick my fingers up and saying I don't care what you want, you know, thanks for your support, but you can fuck off. And I never meant it like that, and it really started to bother me because I really don't want to do a lot of old stuff. I don't want to live in this little nostalgia retro world that so many other people from my era, I was going to say, is a horrible word, but those days that were around in those early days, they do seem to immerse themselves in kind of remembering what they were like. But I've realised that I have to be a little bit fairer than that, and so every once in a while I do a tour where I do an old album or a particular group of older songs, and I let people know that's what it's going to be, and that's what the Machine Music one was. So it would never be top of my list of tours that I've loved to do, but they have their own sort of fun and anyway, you know, because different people turn up for enough to those ones. The Splinter's actually going very well, and I've finally got off my arse and started to do it. Yeah, I've been talking about doing it for, God, 6 years and more, and I've had loads and loads of little spurts at it. So I've actually got 30 or 40, 50 maybe even now, bits. You know, some of it, you know, quite well developed, some not. But I've really got into it now, so I've got a proper batch of finished songs. I'm not quite finished, so I'm going to hopefully finish it off when I get to America before Christmas. Good a time as any to finish it in terms of songwriting, and then we'll have another couple of months actually getting the production side of it sorted out. So it is actually really, really close to being finished now, and I feel a bit silly because I've sort of lied and said that before, but it really is this time.